Room. Locker Room 981 is what it's called. That's a segment of Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And I am Myra Essay.
And together we join everybody around the world to welcome the one that takes part in every sporting activity in the world. She's up to date with all the latest details. Even when Roger Federer is playing or he's not playing, she knows what he's about. Whether he's brushed his teeth, he hasn't. Lewis Hamilton win, getting to the pit stops, everything that goes on, the technicalities, she will unveil them for you, right? Her name is no other than Tega Supreme.
Woo! Okay, good morning, Lagos.
Just for effect.
I'm tired of healing myself.
Hashtag when you're your own hype woman.
You understand?
I love it.
I'm the fan, I'm the star. Good morning, Lagos.
Yes, please. You can watch her receiving every encomium with 32 blaring. You can check it out.
No,
on
it's
YouTube.
27 and a half.
Oh, okay. That's how it is. Yeah.
So he's taking out 3.
I've taken out and I failed. So 27 and a half. Do the math in your private time.
Oh my goodness, I just minus 32 and 27 and got 3 on
It's okay.
air.
That's cool. On a Monday morning, it's a fresh start. All right, so join the conversation by sending us messages on WhatsApp 0809 444 That is our WhatsApp number for messages 0809 444
We're on Twitter at Smooth981FM. Please use the hashtag LockerRoom981. We'd love to read from you. Also on YouTube, our YouTube family, please make sure you're tuned in, watching us, and sending in your messages for some good banter through the live chat application. You can also join our family. We are always receiving new members.
All right. Let's say charity begins at home. So we begin with a story. Peter Olawale was not too downbeat following Nigeria's shock loss to Australia, and he's positive his team will come back stronger. Now, despite recording a staggering 34 attempts on goal, Manu Garba's boys lost 2-1 to the Joys, their first defeat ever to the Asian representatives in 7 attempts. In his words, Olawale described this as saying, "We started well, but Australia scored first after we failed to tighten our defense while attacking. We also missed several scoring chances to have won. And after the game, we felt we let our coaches and the country down. The loss was annoying, but we've learned our lessons, and our focus is to make sure we get a quarterfinal ticket against whoever we play against."
Yes, so I heard a lot of Nigerians complaining about Australia. I would say this for the Nigerian boys. They did put in the best effort. It just the ball just refused to go in for a second, third, fourth, fifth goal. I would say this: they created 34 chances. They had 12 on target.
Tega, did you say the ball refused to go in?
I don't know what.
Does the
happened.
ball kick itself?
Look, they took a shot. It went to hit the target. For some reason, he hit the bar. He hit the goalkeeper's leg.
Just.
He hit the defender's leg.
I was just waiting.
It had nothing to do with jazz. It's just physics.
Australian jazz.
But what so the Australians, when they had the ball, they looked dangerous. Tried to get the goal, and they had said it before the match, you're going to win it. I don't know what they did. I don't know if they prayed, they paid tithe. I don't know if they looked into a white bowl of water, but they did say they were going to win the match, and they came out and won it despite playing against pressure. It was Nigeria mounting pressure after pressure, creating opportunities. Just for some reason, they couldn't win the match on the day. I'd say this for the Nigerian side. Again, not just Manu Garba just needs to do something about the boys' defense, because sometimes if you are not conceding so many goals, you don't have so much work to do. The problem with Nigeria is that back is very leaky, so he needs to sort that out. The next opponent they face is the Netherlands. Yeah, I know some people say, "Hey, Holland." No, they haven't been impressive at this under-17 World Cup. It's not the same team with the later and the people no. This is the under-17. You don't know anybody here. The talent is just developing. They barely struggle to get out of their group. In fact, they're one of the what they call them now. Is it the lucky losers? I think they came third in their group. So basically, they are one of the weakest links. And Nigeria, I think Nigeria, looking at the Dutch side I saw, I think Nigeria should defeat them. Except again, we create another 34 chances and the ball doesn't go in. but this Dutch team that I've seen should be beatable by the Eaglets I saw. So I wouldn't be too hard on the boys with the loss, because if you watch the game, for a coach, if you're watching this kind of game, you're thinking, how many opportunities did my team create? How well did they play?
Yeah.
And so sometimes you can use that to balance with the results.
Yeah.
So I'd say yes, it was a tough loss for Nigeria, and Australia really needed the points. But I think going forward, the boys should do well, especially against Netherlands. After Netherlands, we check the next opponent and we know our fate.
So did they take your advice, whereby you said that he should not stress the?
He did not, Jerry.
He still
The
went
guy
ahead.
wanted to do 100%. Maybe that's the problem, Seb.
Exactly.
But he's still very confident. So they're going to win the next one.
Yeah,
let's win the first one.
the Dutch are really beatable, so they should win. That's the one that if they don't win, I'll be upset.
Be upset.
Okay.
Alright.
The
When is
Australia
that
can
game?
forgive on Wednesday.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
so close.
so-
Let's watch out what's gonna happen. I saw Lewis Hamilton overwhelmed and honored after 6th Formula One title. Hamilton said it's hard to comprehend that he's a 6-time Formula One world champion after clinching the 2019 title at the US Grand Prix. Here's what he said. It's just overwhelming, if I'm really honest. It was such a tough race today. Yesterday was a really difficult day for us, and Valtteri did a fantastic job. So a huge congratulations to him.
Okay, so it's right. First of all, let me congratulate Valtteri Bottas. He did do a fantastic job in qualifying. Qualified on pole. Lewis, on the other hand, qualified. Excuse me. Qualified fifth. It didn't look like he was going to be able to compete so much, but he knew that, look, with the way the Mercedes car is, I may still win the championship this weekend. What he was trying to do was try to win the race at all costs.
Okay.
But congratulations to Valtteri Bottas. Didn't put a foot wrong all weekend. Did what he was supposed to do. Obeyed his race engineer, Lewis Hamilton, and then he won the race. So congratulations to him. Unfortunately, he has had some great moments this season. Lewis had just had a lot of great moments consistently, and that's how he managed to win the championship. On the other hand, Ferrari, I don't know what happened to them. They looked good on Friday, looked like they could push on Saturday, but on Sunday they had absolutely nothing going for them. Vettel was struggling with understeer, and that cost him to climb the curb, which also now cost him to break his suspension, and his race was over in the 8th lap. Charles Leclerc just couldn't get the tires to work for him, couldn't find any pace. So Ferrari had a bad Sunday. So sad one for them. Verstappen did try to push. Red Bull also was going to look strong at US Grand Prix. Unfortunately, he could only manage third. Now we get to the champion of all champions. This little boy that came with his father from nowhere. The black boys that believed that they could, and they did.
And they did.
and it was amazing.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. And it was amazing to see. I mean, Lewis has so many things that distract from how great he really is as an athlete and as a competitor. The eat only plans, do this, do that, the partying, the models. He has all those, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Lewis Hamilton is amazing. I know some people will come out to say that, oh, it's the car, like Nico Rosberg should smash it. But he's come out to say, look, they've come out to say, oh, it's a car, he has a good car. Yeah, I want to tell people, Valtteri Bottas drives the same car.
Exactly. The car
And he
doesn't
didn't win
drive itself.
championship. Ferrari had the fastest car for most parts of this season. They didn't win championships. There were even races that were more suited to the Ferrari car. There were circuits that were more suited to the Ferrari car, and in those races, Lewis Hamilton won, and that's what gave Lewis the difference. So it was not just a good car; it was strategy and it was driver. And like keep saying something. You see, there was something that happened. I think a few races ago when Lewis was chasing down Max Verstappen, and Red Bull garage was really scared. Then Lewis made that error when he was trying to overtake Max Verstappen, which took him out of the competition. And it was Valtteri Bottas that was chasing down Max Verstappen. And the Red Bull garage was just calm. Like, this guy is never going to pass Max. There is something about Lewis. He will chase you down. He will not give up till he gets it. Yesterday, he had the wrong strategy. I would say this. Bono was back. not looking very healthy, but he was
But
back.
still-
I was so excited when I saw him.
I
I
saw
Oh,
your
dear, dear Bono.
I saw your tweet.
was so excited, but he was back and he put Lewis on a one-stop strategy.
Mm.
Unfortunately, the degradation in tires couldn't let Hamilton chase down. People like Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas went on a two-stop strategy, which ended up being the faster strategy, and Valtteri Bottas won it. But even with the one-stop strategy, even when Lewis knew that there was no way towards the end of the race he was going to beat Bottas, he still tried to hold him up just so that he'll manage to win it. He had already won the championship by finishing in top 3, but he just wanted to win the race. And it's that kind of dogged, resilient spirit that made him win this season. And so also looking to next season, he's like, okay, next season is going to be tougher. And he's right now, it's not, oh, I have 6 tantrums, I don't have anything to prove anymore. No, it's how do I keep winning, because these guys are coming after me.
Right.
That hunger, that ambition, that discipline, that drive is what makes him great. So congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. We're gonna party because you're the champion.
So I have a serious question for you now. Do you think that he will be able to meet or beat Michael Schumacher's record?
Oh,
Just one more championship.
To meet it now.
yeah,
to
he
beat
just
it,
needs one more championship
To
to
match it, yeah.
match it. And it's going to be very tough next year. I agree with him absolutely. But I think he can. I think he can. I don't know if it's going to be next year or 2021, but I think he can match it. I don't know about beating it
Let
yet.
him beat it.
And you know what? He doesn't even need to. He's already amongst the greats. And I like what he said. He said when I came into this sport, my own plan was not to try and beat Michael Schumacher's record, because he had one championship for a very long time. After winning the first with McLaren, he didn't win in a while till he went to win with Mercedes. So there was that. His own was, can I win a championship? He's won it. Is good. So he doesn't need to beat it to be great. But if he does beat it, what can I say?
He's smiling to the back. I know. Where is Nico Scherzer?
I like what what's his name now? Matthew McConaughey said. He was there at the race. He said it does not matter if Lewis Hamilton was driving a car or doing something else. He will always be great because of the way he is passionate and he approaches whatever he does. And he was saying that even when he leaves Formula One, which is what I totally agree, he will still be successful in whatever he finds to do. Because let me tell you, what all the things we're talking about, Lewis Hamilton is selling cloth too. Yes, now with Tommy Hilfiger, and he's a heat.
Yeah.
So he has so he's selling clothes, as I call it. But
It's called merchandising.
If he has different series. His season 2 also sold out. So season 1, season 2. So we don't know what season 3 and season 4 is, and that's clothing. Let's not talk about if he decides to start making music.
Right.
Oh yeah, I heard he can sing.
Or movies.
I've heard it all from. I think he's a poor actor, but
but at least he's friends with Will Smith. So
no,
he's
cameo.
But I heard he can sing. That one is confirmed.
I don't see him. Imagine him doing, "Ooh, baby."
Oh, I don't imagine him. I've imagined him, and he can sing. And there are many people, producers, Will Farrell, Will.i.am,
Nicole Scherzinger.
I've not heard Nicole talk about his singing, and I don't care what she has to say. But I'm talking about she can be biased. I'm talking about people that will not be biased.
Yes.
And a lot of people have said he can sing, and I've heard his feature on somebody's song.
Really?
And he has a great voice.
Okay.
So trust me,
he's about to conquer the world.
the guy will blow anywhere.
Especially as it drives fast. 8:30 is the time here on the Locker Room 981. We'll be back for more sports stories inside of Smooth 98.1. Send your messages with the hashtag on Twitter at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is Locker Room 981.
Smooth.
He can sing.
30 minutes already.
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, Massimo.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning.
I didn't finish that discussion with you about your leave.
No, I've been
So,
waiting to have that discussion.
Let's just have it when you're done, because I think I can work something. But let's see when you're done.
Masino. In my mind,
Now
I'm
that
on
was
leave.
When she's back, I'll go and leave. My last one
Do you
week.
know what
Yeah, you
Valentine
still
always
have-
I
does?
want to.
You.
Do you know what Valentine? I know Valentine always
It's
does
not
Just-
revenge
possible.
leave.
It's not possible.
As soon as I go
1
on
week.
leave.
Okay, 3 days.
Today at the meeting, see how many people are.
3 days, sir. Just 3 days.
There's nobody.
It's revenge leave that
Everybody-
Valentine wants
It's
to go
November.
on. Every
We
time
still
I
have
go
a
on
lot-
leave and I come back, Valentine's like,
It's
I'm
not
going
like
on leave
that,
too.
I-
So
If
I'm
it's not-
like,
it's not about you.
It's about me.
They're forfeiting it.
Sorry,
If I don't leave
Valentine.
now.
If you haven't put in for that leave now, you're forfeiting.
No, it's there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's there.
I'm sorry.
No,
You
no,
and
serious.
Kennedy are forfeiting
3
leaves.
days
Maybe
now.
even notice too.
Okay, after the
The
show.
department is empty. Empty. As it is now, you will have to do 1 week on your own. Because we can't have me and you on the air. We were going to use Khadija. She's supposed to be her sub.
Yes,
Me
but
and you
what's
on
wrong?
air is just gay. Not gonna do
Touching him. Where's Khadija?
that.
Why is Khadija not?
She's on leave as well.
It's affecting her leave as well. So when you're done, let's
All
talk
right,
about it.
thank you.
Right.
Everybody.
Everybody's on leave. Why did you
Yeah,
take your leave at the
Wow.
beginning of the year?
I have 3 weeks. I'm forfeiting 1
Why
week.
your eyes for me?
You're forfeiting 1 week.
Yes.
At least
I just
people
have
have
to
When
take
did you
my
just
leave.
join? When did you join? Do you know how
January.
long I worked to fight?
Okay.
You put it on camera.
Oh my goodness.
What is wrong with you? I'm on leave. I'm on leave.
I
I
totally forgot.
totally forgot.
But still, the point is,
What's the point?
it's not about you not going.
Uh,
It's about the fact that you should share.
wow, when somebody was on cruise around
The
Europe,
world. High five.
he wasn't sharing
I'm a
nothing.
Cap no.
What has
Cap
that
no,
got to do
Cap,
with
Cap
anything?
no
They won't
link.
share
My friend
pictures.
travel.
Have you not heard in this world when you're enjoying life, you don't show too many pictures?
Oh my gosh.
People
Go ahead.
says, "Caught you guys, but enjoying it." You people like G.
I'm broke. I like giving Musha.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what's the next news?
This is life.
Ashley Barty.
Yeah, actually.
We're rushing through that.
Bimbo said, "Valentine, go on your leave."
He's forfeiting it. We're rushing Ashley Barty. It must be 2 minutes. Time me. It must be 2 minutes because we have so many
You should not tell me
stories
that
to
they
cover.
moved the date.
Because I must talk about Son, how he was crying when he broke somebody's leg. He's not even the one that broke the leg at the end of the day. Oh, but the boy cried.
What?
They were now consoling him as if it was his leg that broke. He
Who's
was
that?
crying. I'm telling you.
Oh,
Son.
okay, we're back actually. Studio, mics are up. Shout out to our YouTube fam. You guys just get inside scoop
Honestly.
to everything. It's amazing. Stay with us here on Smooth 98.1 Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Ayo Myresi
It's the Locker Room 91.
with Tega Supreme.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so Chimobi Victor says, "I'm joining Tega to celebrate Lewis Hamilton for his victory. So when is the party taking place? We'll give you time and address soon."
They're not invited. though. Not be
Are you
thinking
friends
that
with
because
Bob?
we're all celebrating, all of us will go to the party.
Tony from Ogba says, still will rise. Hashtag Lewis Hamilton, 7th champion loading before 2021.
That's right. So really on that one.
Sheriff Oluwaleke Okimi says, congrats to the world best downfall driver for winning the Formula One championship at Austin yesterday. One more to go to equal Michael Schumacher next year. Sheriff, thank you.
Thank you. I think we should enter some of our downfall drivers for Formula One actually.
Mm.
Lewis can definitely sing. Listen to Pipe by Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
Featuring XNDA, which is Lewis's pseudonym. Really?
That's
Larry
nice.
from the abroad.
All right.
You can sing.
Larry. World number one, Ashley Barty, ended the 2019 season in style as she beat defending champion Elena Svitolina, that is, to win the WTA finals in Shenzhen. The 23-year-old Australian, who had lost all 5 previous meetings with Svitolina, won 6-4, 6-3 to claim $4.42 million.
Yes.
Biggest prize money in tennis history.
Yes. So I would say this. Like I said earlier, I didn't know who was going to win it, and considering the history between Barty and Svitolina, I actually thought that it wasn't Ashley Barty wasn't going to win. It was going to be Svitolina. When Ashley Barty saw the money, that is the biggest. And let me first of all, I have to celebrate Mickey Lola, who is the head of who is the president of WTA.
Mm.
That is the biggest prize money of any tournament, male and female.
Really?
Male and female. So for people that like to say things like how many people watch women's football that they are talking about money, let me guarantee you that the WTA final did not did not get as much views even as the Paris Masters. And I'm not sure it's going to get as much views as the ATP Final 8 in London. So at the end of the day, what are we talking about here? But somehow the tournament managed to get that amount of money. If you have a valuable product, people will put their money on it.
Exactly.
You can determine what the value is. Difference being plantain chips and kwekere
But just help me understand.
is the
Tega.
value.
I like your analogies. But help me understand the sources of income for such sponsorship.
So
For such
it's
tournaments,
Yeah.
private
sponsorship.
again, which is why we are hosting the LIS corporate edition.
Thank you.
It's private sector money.
Mm-hmm.
People come bring their money, look at the tournament and say, oh, the final, that means the best top ranked 8 players in the world. Okay, how much is your this, how much is your that, and then they put their money and then they determine. Yes, so it's private sector money, so it's not just from ticket sales.
Yeah.
Ticket sales is tight.
Yeah.
It's
Probably not anywhere close.
It's probably not. Do you understand?
Mm.
The real money is in all the TV rights, the sponsorships that are coming in. That's where the real money is.
Boy.
The real money is not in the money you make at the gate. As
That
people
one is
that,
already guaranteed.
do you
isn't it?
understand? People that do shows, please help me tell them
Mhm.
so that.
You're right.
Do you understand?
Actually, some people actually the best thing is to make your money even before the date.
Yes.
Even if no one comes,
So,
you already made your money.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So all this environment, they've sold their content value and they've made their money. So congratulations to Ashibati. On the other hand, in Paris, it was Novak Djokovic who won the Paris Masters. Yes, he beat Denis Shapovalov in a sprint. It wasn't. He didn't even break a sweat. And it was expected. I didn't expect Shapovalov to put up any opposition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately for Rafa Nadal, he picked up an injury before the final, so he dropped out of the semi-final, and that's why Denis Shapovalov had to walk over into the final, and then he got smacked around like a little child. Well, he's young, so.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to Zinedine Zidane, and he's defending Gareth Bale's early exit from Real Madrid's draw with Real Betis. So he defended, and Gareth Bale and James Rodriguez, after both players left the Santiago Bernabeu after the end of Real Madrid's La Liga draw with Real Betis. I don't think it's a lack of respect at all, Zidane said. What do you think?
Okay, so it's pretty strange what happened, but from the club angle, Gareth Bale didn't break any rules. The club says that every player must be in the stadium till at least the 80th minute. Shouldn't leave the stadium before the 80th minute of the game. So he waited till the 80th minute. So maybe let's assume that himself and James Rodriguez were not angry that they were not selected in the match squad. Let's just assume that they wanted to leave before the rush. Before the exit rush. That's what we are going to have to assume. We are not because that's the official cover story. Let's run with it. so people were looking at it like your team is struggling. First of all, in the La Liga this weekend, it was a bloody weekend for the top teams. Barcelona lost 3-1 to Levante, away to Levante. It was crazy. They scored first. Messi scored a penalty first. It looked like they were going to go on from there to have a good route. Unfortunately, Suarez picked up a slight knock. He was substituted, and Levante scored 3 goals in about 8 minutes or thereabouts. It didn't look right. For me, I thought it was replay, but it was another goal and then another goal. I was like, okay, hold up, people, what are you doing here? But they lost, and so you would think that Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid would be licking their lips to win, Abi.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Atletico Madrid drew 1-1.
Wow.
Then Real Madrid should have just said, oh yes, these people have lost points. Let me come and win. They came out and they drew 1-1 again. So I didn't understand what was going on. But the fans are looking at it like, with your team struggling, you should have been with your team if you're supposed to be. And they picked him out. It was himself and James Rodriguez that left. But they picked only Gareth Bale out, maybe because of the rumors and the struggles he's had with Zinedine Zidane in the past. But it's good. It's a good thing that Zinedine Zidane is at least defending him. Zinedine Zidane has to defend him at least till January.
All right. Arsenal, where are you guys? They've denied any meetings. Arsenal have denied any meetings have taken place between head of football Raul Sanllehi and Jose Mourinho as pressure continues to mount on head coach Unai Emery. The Portuguese was in attendance for Arsenal 3-2 Europa League win over Vitória last week, and reports claim that he's keen for another managerial job in England. There was also fresh speculations on Sunday morning that Sanllehi had met Mourinho for dinner, fueling the fire over a potential move for the 56-year-old.
Okay. Unai Emery's job is definitely under threat. The board is a bit shaky now because of the results that have been coming. I mean, we took Wenger out to bring you in. How come you're not giving us results and you're putting us under pressure again from these fans that know how to push people out? And so there's discomfort everywhere on the pitch. There's the drama. There was the drama with Shaka. There's the disappointment and frustration with the results that are coming. 11 points from 9 games, very poor. And then now they can see Jose Mourinho is out of a job and he's hanging around England, and people are just beginning to suspect that perhaps this side of London is coming to.
That'd be so. No, honestly,
it'd be nice for me. I'm a Mourinho fan.
Yeah,
I don't know about Arsenal fans, because let me tell you the truth. Well, Jose Mourinho knows how to antagonize.
I want him to shake. They're too quiet. They're too calm. They need their feathers.
I guess that's what Manchester United fans said. Then they said,
Mourinho, very funny.
Arsenal.
That's why
you're calling them. Who you're inside.
No. That's what Manchester United fans were saying in the beginning. Then he came. Then they said we want Mourinho out. This is what happens. But there are suggestions. But what is quite clear is that everybody is dissatisfied. The boss is not happy with the results they're bringing. The board is not happy. The fans are definitely not happy. And Unai Emery himself is not happy because now, I mean, he thought he got his dream job and now he's under pressure so soon. So he needs to turn something around. And the first thing he needs to stop doing is, well, his defense likes to give away goals. They scored an early goal, looked like they were going to score more, and next thing you know, Wolves are back in game. And especially with a team like Wolves that will continue playing their football until the 95th minute. I don't think Unai Emery has covered himself in any glory. But Arsenal have denied speaking with Mourinho. We will know. I always say this thing. Time will reveal the truth.
They said they haven't spoken to him in years. All right, let's go on to Bayern Munich, who sat Niko Kovac as manager. So just to mention that.
Yeah.
And then,
so I've been telling Bayern Munich to sack Niko Kovac since last season. They've sacked him this season. So maybe Barcelona will sack Valverde next season.
Big T, let's very quickly. Big T says Hamilton is amazing. I'm in shock that a guy from the country that drives on the wrong side of the road could be winning racing titles.
How do you know it's the wrong side of the road?
Everton is investigating alleged racist abuse of Heung-min Son during Tottenham match. So they're investigating after a supporter was accused of racially abusing Tottenham forward Heung-min Son during the club's 1-1 draw on Sunday. Reports have since surfaced that Son was allegedly racially abused by a member of the Goodison Park crowd.
Yes. Okay, so drama at Tottenham. First of all, Son scored a goal that put Tottenham ahead, and you have to remember that Tottenham haven't won in a few games. They need results. So they get the goal from Son, and it looks like he was going to go uphill from there. Unfortunately for Son or Sergio, but it was Son that made the first tackle. But I think it was Sergio that stepped on the foot that broke. But both of them went to defend against Andre Gomez, and he ended up with a broken leg. And I think the fans, Everton fans, should be a little ashamed of themselves, because you could tell that Son was distraught. He was crying inconsolably. Three people had to be petting him. Oh God, don't cry again. Just we know you're sorry. His cry almost made me cry. He was inconsolable. He couldn't believe he had just broken somebody's leg. And then you now go ahead to abuse that guy, seeing that he's sorry for the mistake that he made. Clearly no intent, but he was so distraught. Even without them giving the referee giving him the red card, I think the coach would have still taken him off, because psychologically he couldn't play anymore. Yeah. That was the end of his game. And so for the crowd to now start racially abusing him because of that, I mean, leg breaks happen a few times in this football. Jibril Cisse, Aaron Ramsey for Arsenal. You don't do that. Sergio was also racially abused because he was part of that struggle and all that. But it's such a sad one. I wish Andre Gomez a quick recovery, because it was at the ankle that he broke, so maybe a longer period out. But very, very, very sad one. I think Everton needs to take action against that section of the fans.
Olufemo Motayo on YouTube is asking if Mourinho will be a best fit for Arsenal.
And then MI says, I beg you, bring Mourinho, not this low budget Valverde. Good evening.
It's a good evening.
Good evening.
Tega, the Sherry says Mourinho will be good for Arsenal, but can they take his wahala?
My sentiments exactly.
Emeka from Amor says this one Mourinho is hovering around like a vulture around the Emirates. We don't want to. If it was Mourinho of 10 years ago or the Mourinho of Inter Milan, no problem. Not the Mourinho
You people
of
should
now.
better be grateful for any Mourinho, whether this one or the one of the future. Then Fast Lane Guy from VI says Hamilton is such an experienced, focused driver, great at making strategies work for a high adrenaline sport like this. It's difficult not to be controlled by the rush. The UK had better knight him soon. I agree.
I know.
Sir,
And Fast Lane
Lewis
Guy
Hamilton.
is a driver as well.
Yeah.
As a speed racing
Nice.
driver.
So what are you doing
Nigerian
here? Why are you
speed
not in the
racing
United
driver.
States of America?
He's won a lot of trophies. It's time for us to ship him out there.
Fantastic. Well done.
All right, let's take a break. The break to lead us into another segment before we wrap it up on Smooth Breakfast. But special thanks to the lady, the magnificent Tega Supreme.
Woo.
Check out
Self-hype.
at Tega Supreme on Twitter or at LIS International. There's a very interesting conversation that they would have a conference for this month. Be sure to send them an email to make inquiries.
Yes, at liscorporate@ladiesinsports.com.
Only for people that have money.
Oh,
Oh my
the
goodness.
money bags. Okay,
You break.
no be small. Thanks, guys. We love you.
Ah.
Please don't share that secret we just shared.